Hello there, and welcome to Fallout 76. Welcome to Fallout 4. Fallout 4. A game set in a weird dystopian future following a massive nuclear Armageddon. We've got crazy men, radiation zombies that want to rip you apart, and we've even got radiation zombies that don't want to rip you apart, but instead would rather shoot you to death. But I know why all you schmucks are here. You want to know if I can beat Fallout 4 with only a switchblade. Although when I say beat, I mean we kill this gentleman right here, Killogg. So let's find out if we can do this. I started off my journey in my lovely home with my little child Sean. I gave him a little tummy rub and then I went over to spin his little device. And let's just take a minute to appreciate this gorgeous man right here. Look at that face. Anyway, I named myself a very appropriate name and then the world went kaboom.
Oh my god!
Although, funnily enough, my son managed to sleep through the whole thing. Absolute legend. When I got in the vault, I introduced myself to the locals. And then my husband got boomed. And I swore that someday I would murder that hulking man. Anyway, I awoke from my stasis. And we had the first problem. The rad roach. Now, I didn't actually have the knife at this point. The only weapon you can use is either your fists or the bat. So I had to lead them all the way from the vault door so I could grab the Pip-Boy and escape the vault. Luckily, there's a switchblade nearby to the entrance of the vault, so you can grab it as soon as you escape. And now it was time for me to have my first fight. Yeah, this was going to be a problem. I instead let Codsworth do all the fighting for me, and I just hid behind him.
You lose your armor, buddy?
Anyway, I eventually made it to Concord. I made it to Concord, and I fought with my first human enemies. Now, human enemies weren't hard to kill exactly, but they did do a lot of damage, so I had to be a bit careful here. But now I want to go into a quick few rules that I followed during this challenge. So I allowed followers, and I did not allow any weapons that obviously weren't a switchblade or grenades or anything like that. I could use any medical items, any armor, but I couldn't use power armor. So that explains why I didn't really want to use, I didn't want to go through the museum because of a certain someone that I have to fight after that. So I just abandoned Preston and ran off into the wilderness. Anyway, in the wilderness I was walking, then I was running, then I was being chased by the abominations of the wasteland. I did some epic parkour to get over the river, and then I eventually made it to Diamond City. Now I met this bum nugget, aka Piper, and I agreed that I'd go into Diamond City with her, but as soon as the door opened, I immediately just ran past her and the mayor, didn't say anything or look back, and I just ran straight into the city and didn't even say thank you. I met this woman, she told me to go and find Nick Valentine, and then I serrated my blade. Now this is the strongest the blade can ever get to at this point, and I murdered someone on my way out of the town. In fact, I found myself in a similar situation not 5 minutes after that. Two guys were arguing over the fact that they had the same identity and one of them was a robot. I tried to interrogate them, but they thought that I looked like an idiot, so they just said nope. So I tried to de-escalate the situation.
Calm down. No one has to die.
No, he wants me to listen.
Look, all I need is for you to put down the gun, and we can talk this through.
All right. Putting the gun. Oh. There you go. Now I just have to dig two. Oh. Here we go.
So he was a synth. Anyway, me and the dog just beat him to death, stabbed him up. He broke my nose with his little pipe gun, but he did actually die in the end. After the epic battle, I tried to console the guy that survived,
Hi.
and then I snuck down the stairs and stabbed a raider in the neck. But just outside Park Street Station, something crazy happened. So I was looting this body, and then I noticed something sticking out of the water, and I wasn't sure what it was, so I went to investigate. And you won't believe who it was. It was Shrek. Anyway, I wasn't planning on having every bone in my body shattered, so I immediately ran into the subway tunnels. Because there is no way I'm killing that with just this little switchblade. Anyway, in Park Street Station, it took me quite a few attempts to get this down, because I wasn't expecting the enemies to be this tough so early on.
What does he do?
On my second attempt, I just tried running past all of the little gunmen hiding in the tunnels. It did work up to a certain point, and I thought I was going to get away with it, but then I remembered there's even more goons downstairs that I had to try and get past. I tried sneaking down, taking cover, and waiting for an opening. And when I ran for it, I dove straight into the arms of one of the crazy people. But on my third attempt, I just ran past all of them, snuck past a few, and I had 3 more enemies I had to deal with to clear the path to the vault door. All I did here was I took a Nuka-Cola Quantum, which practically turns you into a god for a few seconds, and then I just ran at all the people like an insane person, stabbing them to death while my dog nibbled at their ankle. And this strategy worked surprisingly well. All I'd have to do is whistle my dog on the enemy, and the dog would start nibbling at their toes, and then I would come in with a knife and finish the job. The rest of the dungeon was pretty easy, as I could run past all the other enemies or sneak past them. The final guy at the end, who was interrogating Nick, was kind of hard to kill, but I used my stealth and I just stabbed him in the neck. It was a bit close though, as he did get a few good hits in, but thanks to my dog we managed to take him out. Anyway, I introduced myself to Nick. The rest of the vault was pretty easy as I had 2 followers and I could just hide behind Nick and Dogmeat as they fought all the enemies for me. And can I just say, I don't know what is wrong with my game, but the lip sync in this game is absolutely dreadful. Just look at these characters, they're all interrupting each other and their lips don't even match what they're saying. I don't understand if this is a glitch or what, but it's not very good. So I'll just skip past most of the dialogue because it was even annoying me when I was playing. But anyway, I persuaded Darla to leave what's-his-face and then we escaped the vault. Although Nick was acting a bit strange on the way out in the corridor. I'm not sure what he saw in those walls, but he was... well, you can tell that he's a prototype at least. Even Dogmeat seemed to know something was wrong with him. Back in Diamond City, I watched the worst reunion in history of video games.
Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else.
Thank you.
After watching the nightmare, I told her to pay me like any mercenary should, and then I went off to Kellogg's house. Now, you would just do this like you would any other time you play, and I told Dogmeat to lead me to the Fort Hagen. Fort Hagen was definitely the hardest point in the whole run. I mean, granted, it's the final part that I did in this challenge, but when you have to fight turrets and synths, your knife isn't that great. I used stealth to my advantage though, and it did work out, and Nick also did help me a lot. I used corners and small crevices to hide and ambush the synths with my knife in stealth, as if you stealth attack an enemy, it does extra damage. And I also did put lots of perk points into my melee damage and sneak, which also helped me do this. And I don't want to forget to mention that I brought lots of meds like stim packs and Nuka-Colas to keep me alive in these big fights. Because the way the health system works in this game is it kind of buffs you while healing you. It's kind of weird to explain, but essentially if you eat lots of food, you become invincible for a few seconds, which also helped me defeat enemies. Anyway, I did a little pose before I entered into the depths to fight Killogg. I had an epic battle with a synth who thought they were John Wick. I somehow managed to knife a turret off the wall, which was pretty crazy, and then I had to fight some very high level synths. Now, I nearly died a few times here because Nick got stuck on a wall or something, so I had to run down, hide, pop as many drugs as I could, and then run and attack the enemies. And can I just mention that synths are like superhuman? Like, how does it know that I'm going to come around the wall? It just melees me every time I go close. It's almost like it can read my mind. Anyway, I pushed them out of the way and locked them in that little room, and I had a little bit of trouble opening this door, but I did manage to get away from them. And after searching for so long, there he was. The man who murdered my husband. I immediately froze, so I didn't really know what to do, but I eventually engaged in dialogue with him. I told him he was a dead man, and he was probably thought I was being quite funny at this point, because you know he's got like these very advanced robots with laser guns, and he's like a cyborg and all that, and I've just got like a little a knife. But you know, he didn't know what I was capable of, because I was pretty much invincible. My first attempt at killing him didn't really go exactly to plan, and now I knew it was time to get serious. My second attempt, I got really close to killing him, and I even popped some meds because I thought I'd survive, but I got popped in the ass by a synth. My overall strategy here was to pop as many meds as I could. This means Nuka-Colas, stim packs, everything. And then I'd charge Killogg and just single him out until I killed him. And here's how I did it. And there you go. Killogg was defeated. Now in this whole challenge I used nothing but the switchblade that I found at the beginning of the game. I never damaged or killed any enemies with anything else. I thought the idea of banning power armor would be good for the challenge, as it might be too easy, because power armor gives you a massive health boost. Now I didn't do the whole game, as this game takes ages to beat, and also I had a massive game breaking glitch halfway through, which meant I had to restart the whole game, as I only wanted to play as the Brotherhood of Steel, as I'm not fighting all the enemies in power armor with that little blade. It will take forever. So if you guys want to see that, I might upload a full gameplay of the whole story trying to beat it knife only, although I'd have to restart from the beginning, which would take a while to do. But if you guys want to see it, I'd be down. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video took a while to make, so I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and comment if you want to see more. Now I don't know if you guys want to see more DayZ videos or if you guys want to see more Fallout videos, but just be sure to comment below. And as always, I'll catch you guys on my next video.